Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, another Swiss 001 video, and today we are back in the simulator, of course. We have the 737 right in front of us, and as you can tell right here, it is actually taking off. There we go, the engines are running at full power, which is something that will definitely lead here on this pretty short runway. Let's see how this takeoff will go anyway. Alright, the pilot is pulling up all the way, and that's a major tail strike. Yep, tail is definitely gone, and there we go, we've taken off. Okay. Yeah, in today's video, we are going to talk about tail strikes. And that was a very interesting introduction into the video. Now, yeah, of course, the tail strike that I just did here on this takeoff was very much unrealistically severe. Boom. Right into the ground. That hasn't gone well, but there we go, a takeoff. Perfect. Yeah, for the plane, this was a quite survivable tail strike. You know, for planes, tail strikes are never good, obviously, but I think even after doing such a tail strike, the plane will be able to take off and at least turn around and come in for a landing. Even though with this kind of hard tail strike, I'm not quite sure. As you can see, the plane is still flying, at least here in the simulator, even though the left door is open. Why is that? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about tail strikes today. And of course, we can also visit the internet for that. Yeah, for example, here this video uploaded by Just Planes. By the way, congratulations on 1 million subscribers. Here we can see a plane like this Avro jet probably landing here. You can see at Dublin, obviously. And, oh, that's a tail strike. A very minor tail strike. And, oh, I think that was another one. Wait, let's analyze this again. We have the first tail strike here on this takeoff. Yeah, no, that's a landing there. Pretty minor one, but by the way, a very hard and bad landing. And then the second landing here, that was a little bit of a bounce. And then the second touchdown. And then for some reason, another minor tail strike. That was really a bad landing. God damn it. I'm not quite sure what happened here on the second bounce there. Why the plane was pulling up so much, you know, to come in for another tail strike here. I think, judging by the engine sound, I guess the pilots wanted to go around after having this very bad first bounce, but that didn't particularly work. The pilots gave up the go-around and just decided to stop this plane and come in for a landing. Yeah, that's an aborted go-around. I've never had that. Let's try to simulate a landing this bad. Yeah, this was genuinely bad. Yeah, really one of the worst landings, to be quite honest. Now, of course, we can simulate this landing here in the simulator. We have a very good version of this Avro plane. But let's stay here at this little French airport. Alright, welcome aboard here again on the Avro jet. Very nice plane, especially with its 4 engines. It's quite sad that it's actually kind of dying at the moment. And today, it's not going to be a good day for this plane either, I would say. We're going to come in for a very bad landing. Alright, there's some weird passenger announcement going on in the background, but we won't care about that. Let's just come in. Honestly, doing a hard landing on purpose isn't even easy, but let's just see. Okay, that was interesting. Let's try getting a tail strike by initiating a go-round or something. I'm pretty sure we are hitting the tail at the moment. Let's go for another round. Boom. Yep, that must have been a tail strike there. And oh, now a severe overrun. Okay, now that's gone wrong now. Okay, let's check out this landing. All right, this might be a little bit of a weird flex, but I'm not really good at landing a plane hard on purpose. I'm just too good of a pilot, of course. No, but oh, there we go, a tail strike. Now, actually, this plane does not have any tail strike precautions. As you can see, there are no wheels or anything. Of course, no wheels, but you know, no protection against tail strike, really. Which is because this plane is not particularly easy to tail strike in the first place. Yeah, and we didn't tail strike it at all here on this first touchdown. Like, there's barely any protection against tail strikes. Most modern planes actually have this kind of protection. But a plane that is known for being very well protected against tail strikes is, of course, yes, as you can tell by the cockpit already, the Concorde. Yeah, welcome aboard the Concorde. Right now, the landing gear is not put out. Let's put it out real quick. And as you can see, besides the main and the nose landing gear that's coming out, there is also the tail landing gear coming out. Yeah, literally, this plane has landing gear on its tail because you pretty much do a tail strike anytime you touch down. It's really true. Let's try touching down this plane and you'll see how easily you will reach the tail to the ground. Okay, this is going to be an interesting landing anyway because the Concorde is quite interesting to land. Okay, we're totally coming in for a very bad landing, but that's the point, right? Okay, and at this point it will go around, but okay. Alright, a pretty bad landing. Let's maybe push the tail here. And now let's try getting this plane stopped on this very short runway that we have left. I think this is actually going to be a stop because the Concorde is a very quick stopper. As we can see, that was quite nice. Let's check out the tail, though, of this aircraft now. Okay, there we go. As you can see here, I mean, just look how much we flare here with this plane. The flare angle is very extreme, so it's quite obvious that you're going to have a lot of tail strikes with this plane. Even here on this, pretty normal. I think we even strike the engines there. Okay, maybe this was particularly a bad landing. Jesus Christ. But there we go. We just touched the tail wheel. Then I went in for another tail strike, which also struck the engines, but of course, the landing gear on the tail as well. And as you can see, we stopped just fine. So that is perfect. Yeah, really, tail strikes in the Concorde was very normal. Here we have another one, and oh, there's some sparks here in this video. Maybe that was a little bit of a tail strike too big, but no, the Concorde was built to deal with tail strikes. That's perfect. And yeah, more modern planes also feature protection against tail strike. For example, here the 737-8 has this thing here on the back. I've never actually taken a closer look at it, so let's just do it really quick. Actually, that black thing is gonna shear straight, like right off when hitting the ground, of course. But that's of course protecting the actual fuselage of the plane, which is the point, of course. So let's just go ahead and go for a tail strike. You know, a kind of tail strike that could actually happen in real life. The tail strike we did in the beginning of the video was obviously unrealistic. That would never happen in real life. But let's just imagine, you know, this runway is not particularly long, but there we go. We have reduced engine power just to use more of that runway, and let's come in for a full power takeoff now. So that'll actually be a close call, and we have hit trees. We are hit trees, but we have taken off successfully. Let's see if we manage to touch down the tail here on this takeoff. There we go. Moment of truth. Oh, we actually did not hit the tail. Now, the 737 is not particularly known for being a plane that's easy to tail strike, of course, unlike the Concorde. Unless the 737 is not happy, you know, here in this video, for example, it definitely isn't happy with the whole situation. It was taking off at Frankfurt by Royal Air Maroc. Also a 737, a newer one, an 800. That one was severely overloaded, I think, and I think that was very close to a tail strike, and they ended up aborting the takeoff as far as I remember. Oh, no, they actually took off. That is interesting. Let's check it out. Okay, no tail strike there. Okay, very interesting. I mean, that was at least a very close to a tail strike to hitting the tail on the ground, actually. But I do actually want to see an actual tail strike happening, you know, where the plane severely hits ground. Okay, ironically, we have another 737. Maybe let's check out this interesting landing there. Oh, yep. Now that hit the tail. That was a tail strike, I think. Only a minor one again. Let's maybe watch this one in slow motion. Yeah, that was that you could definitely see smoke here. You could see smoke of that black thing hitting the ground. Yep, that hit the ground definitely. All right, that's now an actual tail strike. Not particularly a problem for this 737 again, because it has this protection. Slowed videos on YouTube don't sound particularly nice. There we go, an interesting go around again. Here this was a very challenging landing here at Malaga. The Turkish Airlines pilots definitely did the right decision to go around again. Maybe let's try getting this kind of tail strike as well here on this landing, even though this kind of case is pretty hard to simulate. I mean, having wind and all that stuff going on. Unless we go for stormy conditions. Let's land the 737 in stormy conditions and see if we can manage to get some kind of tail strike as well. Alright, we'll come aboard the 737 and we can immediately hear thunder. Let's go ahead and see. We just hear this is going to be a little bit of a spicy landing here at Le Mans Airport in the south of France. Actually, one of the places that I fly mostly at this point. You know, it's just a really nice airport. Pretty short runway, but long enough for most planes, actually. 1,200 meters. Okay, let's come in for a landing here. Alright, this time around I really tried having some kind of tail strike. Let's see if this worked. As you can see, this was a pretty hard landing, a pretty big bounce there, but of course we're flying at very extreme conditions. So let's check out this landing really. There we go, a touchdown, first one, and a huge bounce. Then I actually went ahead and activated reverse thrust in mid-air, making us literally fall down to the ground. So let's just see how well that one worked. And Boom, touchdown. No Tailstrike. Okay, to be fair, this is the 737-800, the shorter version of the one that we have in the Turkish Airlines video. So, yeah, maybe that's the thing. Right here, there's just a little excerpt from a documentary about the A380. Of course, every plane goes through a testing phase, and here in this video, they tested the Tailstrike protection system of the A380. As you can see, there it is in progress. It's this little hook thing again. As you can see, that protected the A380 well from actually hitting the ground. Obviously, talking about the fuselage. That's interesting, because these big planes, they're also very, very prone to striking their tail. Especially the planes that are a bit longer, like the 757. What do we got here? Near Tailstrike. Aviation up close. Let's check out this Concorde landing at Manchester. Yeah, that is not very far from a Tailstrike indeed. Interesting. Now to end this off, I wanted to show you a Tailstrike in a small plane, like this Cirrus SR-20, plane that I actually fly in real life, and I'm actually going to perform my first solo in that one very soon, and of course I'm going to cash that on camera. Let's see how much we can Tailstrike this plane as well. As you can see right now, the engine is running at full power, or something. Right now it's only running at 60% for some reason. But let's go ahead and try getting this plane taken off. Let me just mention, it's definitely not going to work. At 60 knots, let's go ahead and initiate a Tailstrike by just pulling all the way, and maybe that already worked. Oh, yeah, okay, that was very close. But let me just say, if we would have hit the tail, then we of course would have hit this plastic part here first. Because indeed, these planes here, these small planes, they're not, impossible to Tailstrike either. So there's this black thing that protects you in case of a Tailstrike as well, especially here on this Cirrus. But, this worked fine as well. We can pull the parachute. So, yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video. And I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night.